Okay, so today we're diving into something pretty wild. We're going to break down exactly how the sudden news about Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro's capture sent these massive shockwaves through the entire global oil market. It's a really fascinating story about volatility, uncertainty, and a phenomenon we're calling the Maduro Effect.
And it all kicks off with this. This isn't just a market report. It's practically a distress signal. For 2 whole days, the market was just in absolute chaos. Traders were scrambling, algorithms were going haywire, and literally billions of dollars were flying around as everyone tried to figure out which way was up.
And this chart? It just shows that chaos perfectly. Just look at that swing. At first, prices shot way up. A classic supply scare, right? But then, almost just as fast, they totally cratered. This is not some gentle correction, folks. This is a violent financial whiplash. And it was all triggered by one single headline.
So that's the big question, isn't it? What on earth could cause that kind of whiplash in a market as huge as global crude oil? Well, the answer isn't as simple as just supply and demand. It's actually way more about psychology and, you guessed it, geopolitics. So to really understand it, we've got to break it down. What we're looking at here is a 2-stage reaction. It wasn't one smooth move, but 2 separate, really distinct, and opposing jolts to the entire system.
Here's the play-by-play. In stage 1, you get the spike. That initial headline just sparks these immediate fears about supply being cut off, and that drives prices sky high. But then comes stage 2, the plunge. As the reality of what was happening started to sink in, the market's reaction just completely flipped on its head. 2 totally opposite reactions to the very same event.
And this unique 2-stage reaction is just so distinct that, well, it's earned its own name. This is where we get to put a label on what was really going on here. So let me introduce you to the Maduro Effect. It's the perfect term to capture this specific brand of chaos. You've got the extreme volatility, and, this is the most important part, massive, massive uncertainty, all of it tied to the future of Venezuela's huge oil reserves. So this kind of breaks down the DNA of the whole phenomenon. It's a direct reaction to one piece of news. It gets started because of those supply fears. But the real engine, the thing that keeps the volatility churning, is this deep, nagging uncertainty about when, or maybe even if, Venezuela's oil is going to fully come back to the global market. Okay, so now we know what happened, but to really truly get the why behind it all, we need a good analogy. So let's try to unpack what we're calling the unlocked gate mystery. This is honestly the best way to picture it. Just imagine a giant, heavily padlocked gate that's blocking a really critical highway. Now, for years, only one person has had the key. And now, all of a sudden, that person is gone. The lock might be off, but the chaos, that's just getting started. Let's break that down even further. So, the gate itself, that represents Venezuela's enormous untapped oil supply. The key holder? Well, that was Nicolás Maduro. He controlled all the access. And his sudden removal, that's the moment of pure panic. The gate isn't locked anymore, but nobody knows who's in charge, or how to open it, or what's even going to happen next. And that right there is the crucial point. The market isn't just reacting to the news of the capture itself. No, it's reacting to the power vacuum, the giant question mark, the massive uncertainty that comes after. Uncertainty is the real fuel for this fire. And look, this isn't just some abstract problem for Wall Street traders. This is one of those moments that really shows you just how connected global politics and our everyday lives really are. So, what's the bottom line here? What should you take away from all this? First, as we just saw with the Maduro effect, what happens in global politics can directly, and I mean directly, impact the price you pay at the pump. Second, in this hyper-connected world we live in, a single news alert can cause a massive global ripple effect. And finally, and this is probably the biggest lesson, to really understand the market, you have to understand its deep, almost visceral reaction to uncertainty. And that really brings us to the final lingering question. The lock has been taken off the gate. But the real mystery, the one the entire world market is holding its breath to see solved, is who actually has the power to finally swing it open and when.